Yes, good morning, all compatriots of the United States. Here I am once again. I'm going to try to be as short as possible because I know I'm not as blessed with words as many others, like Brandon Tatum, um, Laura Ingraham, Alex Jones, and many others. So I'm just going to go not too long here. I was hearing Alex Jones show, and he was talking about liberals, who we all know are now practically all of them are communists. They're supporting communism. They're supporting the communist way of life. They're supporting the destructions that come with communism and the misery. So now, according to what he said, I guess it's all of them. Can't be anybody else. I know it can't be a conservative. Uh, uh, they're supporting abortion up to the age of 3. Can you believe these people are evil, perverted, corrupt, criminal monsters? The history of communism has always been bloody. Today I posted a photo of what communism is all about. I posted like 3 photos, and with them I wrote something on the question of these photos. I think one of them was Bernie and AOC's socialism for you, something like that on the title. I'm not gonna go look for it because, but it's there. Facebook. I posted it on Facebook, on Twitter, LinkedIn, uh, and one of the photos was censored. I think it was covered, according to what a message I received from Facebook, because they don't want you to see the reality of what communism is all about. You know, they cover it, but people are not going to know what was the title all about that I wrote. What was the picture all about? The photo. And Islam is even worse. It's worse. That I can see. But in the photo that I posted, you see a skeletons, dead people. No, it was a skull. Yeah, and a whole bunch of other skulls and skeletons, and a whole bunch of dead people, cadavers. But it's true. What's happening in the bloody history of communism? And I'm talking about Cambodia. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Uh, which was governed by Pol Pot. North Korea, the China's revolution by Mao Zedong, and we're not including Cuba and Venezuela. They're all deadly, and people have such a fascination with AOC and Bernie Sanders, and they don't know they're going to be the next victims. They will. It doesn't matter if you support these communist candidates. You're going to be a victim, and if you complain, forget about it. And if you see your parents and family members dying around you, you can't say a word, and there's no backing out of it, because once you support them and they're in power, forget about it. You might as well go to to another planet, another country, and if possible, maybe another planet, because the United States fall. Believe me, and other countries are going to fall because they're not as powerful, and they're not going to be able to defend themselves. The United States is the one who's helping them. A lot of these other countries with armaments, with military, and once the United States go, that's their chess move. The victory is that the chess move is conquering the United States. Once it falls, forget about it. No Constitution, no Bill of Rights, no nothing. So, what do you prefer? What do you prefer? It doesn't matter that Facebook covered the photo that I post, because you could just have to go to the bloody history of communism, or the bloody history also included of Islam, and you're gonna see all the history, all the bloody history, all the death, decapitation. You can go to Jihad Watch. You can go to in my page. I got a page where I dedicate. Even though I do post some things that the Cuban immigrants in the United States, or let me put it this way: the Cuban community in the United States and here in Puerto Rico, they sent me articles which I post. It doesn't have a lot of photos, and I'm talking about messages that or information that they sent me, which is in English, which lack photos. A lot of the ones that do come with photos, I posted on Cuba Noticias Disidentes, which is a blog that I dedicated to the opposition in Cuba. There you can see a lot of the photos that I post about Cuba. They don't want to post. They don't want to post to Facebook. Fine, you can go to Cuba Noticias Disidentes, or you could go to my other pages like LinkedIn and Twitter. I don't know if they would ban it or they would cover it, but there's a lot of ways of seeing the reality of what happened. But you have to go to these pages. You have to navigate to see the truth and the reality of what's happened in these communist regimes and Islamic regimes, so you can know the truth. One of the good ones is Jihad Watch for Islam, and another one is Cubanet, Martin Noticias. Let me see. You go to the page of Luis Enrique Ferrer Garcia, who's the brother of Jose Daniel Ferrer Garcia, the person who was kidnapped and is being tortured in the prisons of Cuba, in these hellish prisons of Cuba. The guy is being tortured because he denounces the wrongs and the criminality and the corruption in the communist regime in Cuba. Just for that. There's no freedom of press, no nothing. You can't film or anything. There's not allowed, no free press. Because it will show the reality of what communism is all about. It's what Bernie Sanders and AOC want you to believe and want you to support. That's why they want to block or they want to censor the truth. How? By removing Donald Trump. Donald Trump was defending the Constitution and defending our right to express ourselves freely. He's the true savior and the true hero of the movement, which has made our economy surge and brought out an unemployment to the lowest level in history. So what I'm trying to say, and I'm trying to educate the world as part of what these other conservative medias, which are better than mine, better than my videos, are trying to educate you. I'm trying to do my part, even though I'm not the best of them. I know I'm not even the worst of the worst, because sometimes I lack words, and even though I was born in the United States, I was raised here too many years, and sometimes I kind of forget words. There's other people out better, like Michael. You got Michael Savage, like I say. You got Alex Jones. You got a whole bunch. You got John Miller. A whole bunch of people that are a lot better than me. but I'm trying to do my part to educate too, because we all have to put a little bit of our grain to educate the people. You got a lot of ignorance out there. I mean, it's just terrible. And new news network, which is another great conservative media. Every once in a while, they post things. This other guy, Mark Dice, he posts or he speaks with people, especially in campuses everywhere, in the beach of California. I think it is that he makes his interviews, and there's other guys that interview too, and it's incredible to see the amount of ignorance, except from the older people. It doesn't mean that there's not ignorance there too. But you got a lot of senior people that are more knowledgeable, especially the male part. You got a lot of seniors who know and who can express themselves. Sometimes I say to myself, lowering the leverage of voting privilege should be up to the 21 years of age, because a lot of these teenagers, they lack any sense of knowledge. They don't care. A lot of them don't care. Even people that are studying the universities, I don't know what they're teaching there. Like I said in one of the videos, there should be it should be enforced a credit where you have to study the bloody history of Islam and communism, the consequences. There should be a course required as a credit to graduate, that you take that course and you pass it. And if you fail, you have to repeat it again. If no, you won't graduate. It should be done. A lot of people hate history. I used to love history, but a lot of people hate history and they don't care. They don't care, and they don't want to learn it no matter what. So it should be enforced. That shouldn't be free. It should be enforced in our colleges, because what I'm seeing is our colleges are contaminated, just like the colleges here. Because I didn't finish college, but I went to college, and I remember there was professors that were from the extreme left, and they were trying to impose their ideas on the people. Even though I would hear them and listen to them, I said, wait a minute, I don't think something's wrong here, because no matter how bad, in capitalism, people are living fine. Or they can always get help from the government, some kind of welfare, some kind of economical help. But in communism, I'm seeing there's none of that. As a matter of fact, I don't know if anybody knows. I'm talking about the English-speaking community. That there's these three children, these three girls died because Cuba has deteriorated to such a level that the balcony where three of these children, female children, were standing at, fell to, I don't remember how many floors. I think it was like about the third floor or something, and they fell to their death. And a lot of people in Cuba who have been interviewed are claiming that it's the fault of the regime, because I remember a doctor that who I met from Cuba, who died from 2017, I think it was, Darcy Ferrer. I remember that they confiscated and they fined him because he bought on his own money 2 sacks of cement so he could fix something in his medical, which was in his own house, his own facility, a medical facility, which was in his house, because they had fired him because of his opposition against the regime, of the abuses. And the medical office that he founded in his own home here in here in Puerto Rico, which is part of the United States, the same uh, uh, health conditions apply, or the same laws of health rules apply. If it would have been here, they would have closed it down because of lack of hygiene, and the condition was not apt for a doctor's office. But that's the way they were operating in Cuba because that's the condition, that's the social condition uh, that's prevailing in that island because of communism, which levels everybody to the equal status of misery. So you know, I know doctors who support that hellish precept, and all kinds of professionals, and you see them driving around in luxury cars, living like kings with a great salary, and supporting a political idea which will reduce them to poverty, to extreme poverty for the rest of their lives. You got female doctors in Cuba who has to go to the tourist section, excuse me. I mean tourist section, and prostitute themselves. I'm talking about women doctors, female doctors, so that their children won't go to sleep hungry, requesting a glass of milk. The social conditions of many of these doctors have been reduced to such level that some of them quit and decide to work for themselves, work for themselves because they just can't afford it on the salary of the government. So this is what the communists in the United States, which still calls themselves the Democrat Party, are offering you: the equal share of misery. So it's up to us if we're gonna accept this or we're not. Another case I want to talk about here is Elizabeth Warren. Let me check my cell phone because I don't want to change to my internet here because then you won't be able to see me. But look at what this lady says. I wrote down in the title. I did it myself. Chief Pow Wow. Warren says her Secretary of Education would have to be vetted by 9-year-old trans child. Can you believe the audacity of this twisted mind? This lady is twisted, demented, criminally demented. Well, she's a communist. All of them are communists. This is the lady running for president of the United States, together with Bernie Sanders and AOC. They're all twisted. Talib, Ilhan Omar, all of them. They are evil. And the thing is, even though the Muslims don't support this type of social conduct, the communists do. You see them supporting everything that's wrong for the United States, everything that's evil, everything that's criminal. They go to Hamas, care meetings, people who are members of Hamas in those meetings, which decapitate and cause terrorism around the world, bombing even their own people. You know, This is 1952 law which prohibited these people from acquiring any position in the government. It should be reinstated. I mean, in what mind can we conceive the idea that we're gonna let these people rule us or impose their will upon us? Are we crazy? Are we deaf? What's the matter with us? What point that the United States has come to? Where we're permitting these people to even be here. And now this lady, she doesn't hit one home run. I mean, she strikes all the time. And there's people even listening to her crap. You know, she comes up with these stupid ideas, and people listen to her. They go to her meetings. They follow her. You see her. They're applauding her. Well, they applaud Biden, who sometimes doesn't even know where he's standing. Who has a son who was thrown out of the Navy for drug use. I don't know. I don't know what we're coming to. I try, and I'm here trying to do my part, and I see a lot of good conservatives doing their part. And sometimes I don't know. I really don't know. I'm telling you, we need to support Donald Trump. Trump, God bless you. God bless your family. I'm going to be short here today because I just wanted to express this because I saw this article about Elizabeth Warren. I had to say something because I just couldn't let it go. And then about this abortion of permitting abortion acts up to 3 years of age. That's murder. Even from the womb is murder. God bless America. God bless everybody out there, all my fans, all my friends on Facebook and Twitter, LinkedIn, and on WhatsApp. Once again, God bless you all. God bless our president. I hope we win again. And I hope we keep on winning. And if someday the United States decide to go another route, I hope it'll be more to the right than to the left. Because to the left, we can't go anymore. It's contaminated with Muslims and communists. And the only thing they want is the destruction of America and our Constitution. So we can't go to the left anymore. There's only one alternative. The Republican Party, which is now the moderate, and a little bit more to the right. Not to the extreme, but to the right. So bye-bye. Till next time.